All right. Hey, friends. How you guys doing tonight? Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Let's see who we've got here. Climbing AAA. How are you doing? Angry Aussie. Always appreciate you. Jeremy Garza. Thank you for the compliment, by the way. Um, that is something that I see quite a bit on YouTube is a lot of sensationalized content, and I'm not really sure how it's going to be received to be kind of a stick in the mud and try to be realistic, but what are you going to do? Okay, loud and clear. That's good news because I don't have my regular microphone. I don't have my regular computer. I've got a hotel light that's kind of lighting me from the side, but we'll just do the best we can. The good news is I've got a ton of time because I'm stuck in another state. So, Darlin, how are you doing, Mr. Record? Glad you can hear me. If it gets to be too loud or not loud enough, let me know. All right, let's stack it up. I like it, Drew. Yeah, we'll give this just a few more minutes and then I'm going to try to do some of my regular video content, especially where yesterday I didn't do any of the fundamental stuff. So, oh, Angry Ozzy wants a story. All right. So I work with my brother. He's a very busy doctor and he has a nice car. It's a Jaguar. Nobody locally wants to service this thing. So he scheduled an appointment to bring it down. It's having some kind of an issue. So I drove it about 200 miles to the nearest dealer. And when I got there, they said that they had no idea who told me that that was possible, but that they were several weeks out. So I drove another 50 miles to the next dealership. And then they also said there's no way they could do it, even though I had called them before I went. And they said, yeah, bring it down. We'll see if we can, get a look at it and just at least give you an idea of what's going on. So after much kind begging, they told me that they would hang on to the car and that they actually had the parts in house. They're going to try to fix it tomorrow. But I mean, this is what I've got for my whole trip. Fortunately I had my work computer and I've got my iPhone. So I'm kind of working both of those and we'll just see what we can do. Definitely stranded here till tomorrow. They said possibly Friday. And even trying to get a rental car to drive back home, it's crazy right now. The way the issues are with cars and you can't buy cars. Kind of crazy. There's a big shortage, I guess, of some parts and computer chips. And this particular vehicle, it's a Jaguar. So the parts have to come from England. So it was lucky that they had the parts in house. It's got some kind of an issue with the water pump. So not a massive problem, but yeah, I couldn't get back out of Utah. I mean, I could have, but it would have been $400 to rent a car to drive home. A lot cheaper to just get a hotel and hang out for the night. So Saitama's king above all other cryptos. I agree, Mr. Record. I mean, there's a lot of great projects. I'm a fan of Shiba Inu, and I think Ethereum and Bitcoin are good options. There's definitely still lots of upside potential there. But as far as my efforts go, I'm putting 100% of my efforts into Saitama because I don't have time to basically be out there making content for all these different tokens with my regular job. So, all right. So it looks like we got about 20 people in the stream. Appreciate everybody joining. I'm still getting used to this whole streaming process. And so to be able to have to change my whole setup and still do it, I'm glad it's working. So to display my screen the largest I can, it has to display both cameras. So you get to see me from two places. I don't have a twin. I can't figure out how to mute the camera on the one side. So let's see, maybe if I, no, that just brings me up full screen. So, all right, we'll just try this. You guys will get me in two cameras, no problem. In a month or two, hopefully we will kill that zero. Hey, Drew, so I'm wondering if you saw the video I made yesterday. It turns out that that is the most popular video that I've ever made so far, the most views in a 24-hour period. And it shocks me, honestly, because it does seem like it's math and it's kind of boring. You should see my wife's eyes when I talk about it. She just glazes over completely and she's like, has no interest. I mean, she's kind of fascinated by cryptocurrency and she's certainly been supportive of me, but she doesn't even watch the videos, I don't think. So Nicholas Vasquez, there is some news on Saitama. There's a couple of things going on, including something I just picked up on Twitter, and I'm super intrigued. It's Russ, the COO dev, and he looks like he's about to drop a major bomb tomorrow, but he kind of gives us the setup on Twitter, and I'll show you that. So maybe while we're waiting for people to jump in, if you guys don't mind, I'll just do a quick fundamentals on what's going on from yesterday to today. Let's see. Yeah, Angry Aussie, I think you're right. I think people who are early adopters of crypto are people who have some investment experience in the past, or they're young people who are willing to be early adopters. And when I look at the data from who's watching my YouTube videos, about 80% of the audience is between 20 and 40 years old. So a couple nice candles in the last 15 to 30 minutes. Yeah, I saw somebody say there was a pretty good dip, big sell, and then we ate that dip. So let's just pull the price real quick. So let me refresh this and see. Yeah, so it's hanging pretty tight on the price it was when I made the video yesterday. I'll actually just jump in really quick and show you guys what that looks like. So from yesterday to today, current token holders or the Saitama holders, 67,307, which is an increase of 1,300 over yesterday, which is a really good day for how it's been here lately. And you can see the difference in market cap from yesterday to today is, you know, like $2 million if you're looking at fully diluted. So, you know, that's good. Up is good. I like up. So it's just a little bump in the price, and the volume I like too. What's kind of interesting to me about this is when you have a price that's holding steady, but you still have really good volume, this is a good thing for us. You know, it shows there's some people that want to take profits, but everybody's willing to buy it up at the same price. We're not seeing that price dip back. And of course, the higher the volume is, the better the reflections are. And I'm a big fan of that. Hey, can I ask you guys, are you getting any kind of echo in the feed, or does it sound pretty straightforward? Bilal Alamin, you haven't missed too much. You're right on time. I'm just looking a little bit at fundamentals from yesterday to today. Okay, Angry Aussie says sounds good. Okay, that's good. Hey, something else I want to show you guys, just because it's fun for me, but the jelly bean contest, we've eaten up 21 people at this point. So Bitcoin Moses, Jose Gabriel, Rick Mason, you're next to go here. It's looking not too good for you guys, but we'll keep updating everybody on this, and maybe later this week I'll do a new estimate on where I think it's going to be towards the end of the month. But if you guys haven't been following, I'm running this jelly bean jar contest where whoever's closest to the number of subscribers on October 31st is going to get 20 billion Saitama. So I'm doing 10 billion for the closest under, closest above, another 10 billion. If somebody hits it right on the money, maybe we'll give them both sides of the prize. So, all right, let me jump back over to the streaming software so I can read the comments really quick. Okay. Yeah, great growth on the new holders. That's something that the more people we have involved, the more potential there is for the upside run. Even if they're not all in right now, they're basically staged up to make the buy. Once you made that first buy, the second one's a lot easier. So this Luis M just joined. Do we know what the burn has been so far? We do. So I use CoinMarketCap quite a bit. I actually prefer to use the original, like the official Saitama token website. But for some reason, that information has been absent for the last couple of days, the holders and the burn percentage. But it is reported on CoinMarketCap. So if you look at CoinMarketCap under holders and then scroll down, I mean, first of all, you can see there's the 67,307 total holders, which is awesome growth. But then the top wallet is the burn wallet, and it's currently holding 55.39% of the total token supply. So 55.39 is the amount that's burned. The remaining supply is a little bit less than 45%. So that's where you can find that information. Let's see. Love your videos. Thanks for taking the time to explain this crypto world. Yeah, thanks, Jimbo. If I'm honest, I'm really not an expert in crypto, but I'm trying to be the foremost expert on Saitama. I actually joined Chad Redding's stream today. I don't know if anybody was on Chad's stream, but I kicked him a super chat so I could get a shout out. And I love Chad, but you can tell that because he's covering so many things, he's having a hard time staying up to date on what's going on with Saitama. I'll cover it today, but like he was kind of talking about Willie D and the big deal that Saitama just struck with Willie D, which was a $50 million deal, which is insane. Bitcoin just broke out 58,000. That's incredible, man. I think, what was their high? 60,000 and change? Let's go take a look real quick. I mean, what's funny to me about Bitcoin is people are talking about it running to 100,000, and there's a lot of people saying, you know, that's just, I mean, there just isn't the upside potential to invest. Like, doubling your money isn't enough upside potential. It's from coming from a stock background where we were trying to help our clients achieve a 10% annual return. That's pretty hard to understand how doubling your money is not enough. So let's see here. If it's in the overview, I'd like to see what the all-time high was. For some reason, I have a lot easier time finding that information in CoinGecko. Show more. Max supply. Yeah, there's the 90-day high. That probably is far enough to go back and capture it. No, there it is. 52-week high, 64,000. So it's getting back up there, getting close. I'm gonna bounce back into the stream software. All right, if Bitcoin goes up, altcoins should follow. This is true. Now, Saitama has kind of been bucking that trend, and I think it has to do with just the sheer size of the project. We're still small enough that, you know, yes, if the whole cryptocurrency market is rising, it does lift. It does lift all the altcoins, but there's been a lot of days where the market was down and Saitama was up. I mean, we were up 21 days in a row in October or September. So I was feeling like a genius at that time. Bitcoin and Dogecoin stays the same. Yeah, Dogecoin is kind of an interesting one because it had such a monster run. And I was actually thinking about, I don't know if I've told that story before, but back in January, February, I was actually going to do a channel called Dogecoin Millionaire. Somebody had taken the name, so I ended up with Dogecoin Millionaires. I set up a YouTube account, I set up Gmail and everything for it, and I pulled $8,000 out of my retirement account to buy 1 million Dogecoin. And while I was waiting for the money to come in the mail, it ran from 0.008 cents to 8 cents. So my 8,000 would have been 80,000. Then it pulled back to 5 cents, and I was like, no, I missed it. And then it went from 5 cents to 73 cents. And that all happened in a period of about 2 weeks. So yesterday in my video, when I was talking about how, could Saitama reach the all-time high of Doge? It could. I mean, it's a community token, and it actually has a lot more utility, and it has a lot more future as far as I'm concerned. Dogecoin is just still kind of a meme coin. There are some people that accept it as payment, but outside of that, they don't really have a development team, and I haven't really seen any plans out of them. So that is what I failed to say in that video, that could we reach Doge's all-time high or even the market cap of Doge? We could, and it looks like it might take a long time, like maybe 2 to 3 years. But the way things work in the cryptocurrency world, it could happen just like instantaneously. If anybody's just joined and you're wondering why I have 2 cameras, it's because I can't figure out how to mute the one, and I'm haloed pretty bad in this lower one. Maybe I should go kill that light that's bothering anybody. So Nova Bob 62, thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to put these to good use. I talked to my wife last night about attending the Cytomask launch, and she was pretty supportive of it. And then she said, you should get me a ticket too. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then I showed her that they were $350 a piece, and she was like, oh, don't get me a ticket. And then I started thinking, well, if she's not going, I don't want to just go meet all strangers, so I'll probably just suck it up and make the buy and see if I can take her. I got to follow through with her one more time. But yeah, Dogecoin sucks at the moment. I haven't followed it too much. I know it's been hovering there between 22 and 24 cents. I must have shut down. No, there it is. Let's pull Doge up for just a minute and see what it's doing. I mean, it's still by market cap one of the top 10 tokens, number 10 to be exact. And their market cap's up a little bit, but yeah, 23 cents. I think if you're a person who's trying to trade and make money buying in and out, it hasn't had a ton of volatility, which makes it harder to make money. I don't do trading like that. But the other nice thing about Doge is you can buy it in Robinhood where you don't pay fees, at least. So if you are trading in and out, you don't get raped on the gas fees. So let's see. Mr. Record wants to go to the Cytomask launch. I want to go too. I think I kind of owe it to the audience to try to be there, and for the people who can't come that are all around the world, I can cover it and be able to give you guys, my version of what the experience is like. There are some people there that I would really like to meet, do some networking with, but we'll just have to see. I'm still not sure. I actually have some crazy work obligations right now, but sometimes you have to make sacrifice. Doge 30 cents to make a profit. Yeah, I could see that. So hey, for people who are in, if you watched the video yesterday, I went back in after the fact and added that spreadsheet to the notes for the video. And let me just show you, if you wanted to use it. So first of all, what you would need to do is you need to go to File. Once you click the link, File, create a copy or make a copy, then you'd rename it, and it should be open for your use. But the part that I think would probably be the most fascinating for people is here at the bottom, you could put in your token count, and then you could kind of get a feel for what your money would be worth if you were looking at something specific. So let me pop back into the stream, and somebody give me their token count, and we'll use your exact token count and kind of walk through what that would look like. Hopefully you guys are still here. Plano Tennis, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you being really active. Okay, Angry Aussie's got 821 billion. So let's pop in here. This is 1 billion. So let's do 821. Okay. So currently Angry Aussie's bag is worth 1/10 this amount. So around 9,000. So if we reach a 10x market cap, which would burn 1-0, that's kind of illustrated up here. You know, if we can reach this 4 billion in market cap, not in fully diluted market cap, but we would then burn a 0, and Angry Aussie would be a lot less angry because they'll have $91,000, which would be freaking awesome, man. That's totally sweet. If we reached Shiba's current market cap, you'd have $250,000, and with Doges you'd be over $500,000. And then of course, as the burn continues, you know, you could kind of look and say, what's it going to take for Angry Aussie to be a millionaire? If we can get 90% burned and reach Shiba's current market cap, which I've got that over here. This is as of yesterday, but 11 billion, then Angry Aussie's buying lunch because he's going to be a millionaire. So if you guys want to use that just for your own fun, try it out. You're more than welcome to pick it up and give it a try. Let's look at one more here. Let's see, Nova Bob. Let me try to count here what you've got. Looks like 101 billion. So I'm going to round that to 102 billion. All right. So Bob, I'm just going to call you Bob. His current bag is worth about $1,100. If we reach that market cap of 10x, which I think is quite possible this year, you're looking at $11,000-ish. You know, this is a little deeper burn than what we've got. That's about 4% more than where we're at currently. But and then of course, if we reach Shibs, you're looking at 30 grand. Doge's current market cap, you'd be 75 grand. So imagine taking an $1,100 investment and turning it into $75,000, and that being realistic for in the next 12 months. That's incredible. That's like life-changing types of money. And I actually get a lot of kind of comments from people. It's interesting to me, but people seem to feel like if you don't have a huge bag, that there's something to be, you know, like ashamed of, you know, like, well, I only have 10 billion. Okay, well, 10 billion could be worth a lot of money for you. So I've got a super chat here from JM82. Thank you very much. Let's look at your 5 trillion situation. You're about to blow everybody's minds with that one, because you already have a substantial bag. So 500. Okay, that would be 5 trillion. Okay, so you're currently sitting on about 50,000, which is awesome. And I don't know where you bought, where your original buy was, but if we 10x, you're looking at $500,000. And if we hit Shiba's, you're well into the millionaire category, which, if you ask me, is still quite an accomplishment. So I wish I had 5 trillion, but again, I don't begrudge anybody, and I don't worry about how much you have. I mean, percentage wise, your investment's going to grow exactly the same as anybody else's. So if you can 10x your investment and you start with $100 and now you have 1,000, that's amazing. And I know that some places people live in the world, if you had $1,000, that's actually pretty substantial. So don't worry about not having the biggest bag. Okay. All right. Let's see. You got some 7 trillion on Nico. Dang. Can I see it vanishing 3 zeros 1 to 2 years? So I was thinking about that yesterday when I was looking at this. To get 3 zeros is pretty tricky. But I mean, we're currently at 7. So to burn 3, we would have to get to 4. We have to burn more than 99% of the supply. So that's quite a ways. Now that's at that 10x, market cap. With Shiba Inu, we could do that burning 99%. We could burn 3 zeros if we get to 11 billion in market cap. So it's not impossible. I just don't know how long it's going to take to burn 90% of the supply, because the supply burn, I did a video on this and it's kind of crazy, but if the lower the price is, the faster the tokens actually burn, because if you put in $1,000 when the price was 9 zeros, 2% of that is buying the tokens at that price to burn. And now that we've burned 2 zeros and we're 7 zeros, it takes $2,000 to burn the same. No, $20,000 to burn the same as it was burning with $200 at 9 zeros. So what we need to do is just keep that volume moving up. And what does give me a little hard on this, I haven't talked about this one yet, and I'm going to revisit the burn. But look at Doge's, look at their volume. Okay, they're doing 1.6 billion per day in volume. That's like 3 times almost the market cap for Saitama. So as we grow, the volume will grow, which will push that burn. But if you look at what's happening in my spreadsheet here, since I've been tracking this and the price has been coming up, let's see. Okay, so I started this tracker spreadsheet on 9/4, and you look at what's happening to the burn percentage. We were 94.95, and it starts, I mean, before this, between May and the end of August, we burned 5% of the total supply. Okay, and since in the last 6 weeks, we've only burned from 55.95 to 55.4. So, I mean, 4.5, so 0.45% burned in a month and a half. You can see that starting to slow, and it's because the volume isn't staying proportionate to the increase in price. So I'll explain that one in another video, but we just need to keep pushing the volume. Honestly, I'm double down on Saitama. So I doubled down on Saitama. I don't know if you guys saw that last week when it dipped down and we lost the zero. I actually made another $1,000 buy, which was double my investment in Saitama. It only bought 1/10 the amount that I bought originally, but I still feel like, if that 10x's by the end of the year, my $1,000 is $10,000. That's amazing. Yeah, Nico, that is something I'd love to talk to them about. The question is, the devs need to come up with a bigger burn, and I'd love to ask them about what kind of plans they have for that. I know with Shiba Inu, with all their NFTs, they're doing some burning, and then anytime anybody lists on Shiba Swap, the people who list have to burn 50,000 in Shiba Inu. And quite frankly, it's still going to be a slow burn. I like the fact that ours is built in. All right. M82, man. Thank you. You are extraordinarily kind. But let me see if I can count your zeros here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. Okay, so that's 10x and change from where we are right now. Let's take a look. Okay, so how would be the best way to take our best guess at this? Let's go back to the burn. Okay, so there's multiple things that are in our favor, okay? We're burning tokens on one side. You're receiving free tokens in the reflections, which helps push your total investment higher. And you're wanting to know, when would we get to 6 zeros 5? We're currently 6 zeros 1 3. So we're talking about 5x. I mean, quite frankly, well, it's more than 5x because we're 10x and then half that again. I mean, it's a big jump from where we're at. It's a big jump from where we're at. Let me see what that would look like in terms of what that would do to people's bags. 6 zeros 5. I'm just going to throw it into my tracker sheet here and see what it does to my holding. 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 8. Okay. So that would take my rewards from $130 to $5,600. And my total value of my investment would be $651,000. We're currently where I'm like 15,000. So let me do a tiny bit of math real quick. These are really great questions, something that I would have to think through, but let's just take a look. Okay, just pull a calculator if it will open here. So 651,000 divided by 15,000. That's 43 times our increase. So it's a 10x, and then it's a 50% gain on that. So it's a massive upswing. That's probably an unsatisfying answer to you. But I mean, that's still probably within the realm of possibility. Let's jump down here and take a look and see if we can identify somewhere else in the spreadsheet. Yeah, I might have to build something special for you on that one. And your kindness is not going unlooked. So I will see if I can work that out. Actually, if I change price in one of these, I should be able to get the market cap that's needed to get there. Yep, I can. Oh, let's see. Okay, that market cap that we needed, what was the price? Oh, you're giving me a thinker here. Okay, let's just change this to 0.0000058. Okay, there it is. So we would have to reach a market cap of 26 billion. Okay, and if we were to look back at the spreadsheet here, that would be almost Doge's market cap. So if you ask me, that's actually achievable. Like, why can we not achieve Doge's market cap? What are they doing that's so special, you know? Yeah, you said 22 billion, and I came up with 25 billion. So, and that's based on the current circulating supply. And as that supply decreases, the amount of the market cap would reduce too. So let's just say we burn 60%, which would give us a 40 quadrillion. Let me change this to 40 quadrillion. That's million, billion, trillion. So if we burn 60%, that drops that market cap required to get you where you want to be to like 23 billion. So in my opinion, it's achievable. I don't know how quickly it's achievable, but that's doable for sure. All right, let me see what I'm missing here in the chat. Do you see 300x Saitama as a big project? It's a business, a company, fully doxed, and isn't going anywhere. 300x. I mean, eventually I can see it because there's so many ways to get there, but I think that's going to be quite some time. I mean, to get 100x, you know, we're going to get 10x. I think we could 10x by the end of the year. I think that's possible. To go 10x from there, and then 3 times that amount would be your 300x. It's going to be a minute, I think, on that one. So I do love what you're saying, though, in terms of it's a registered company, it's fully doxed dev team, and it's not going anywhere. I 100% agree with this, which is why I'm putting all my horses, I'm hooking them up to the Saitama cart to try to pull it, because it's set up in a different way than most other ones that I've seen. So 2 different scenarios. Hey, let's take a quick look here at what's going on in the news. There were a couple of really interesting things that came up. So I try to follow Russ, the Saitama guru, who's the COO, and you can see here, okay, this, where is this one? He had one tweet that was like, oh, here it is right here. Okay. So 23 hours ago. So he was asking somebody if he could get some merch because he was going to have to wear it. He must be out in New York, and he's going to drop something here. So he got the merch, and he says, thank you for your fast responses and helping coordinate this. Is for a major unexpected press release tomorrow and an amazing opportunity for Saitama. Let the world see what the power in numbers really means. So I'm super interested to see that. And then he's doing something with Willie D next Tuesday. That's a Fox News program. And it looks like it's on a local network, not like a national network, but discussing all things Saitama. And then the other big news that came out, in my opinion, I think many of you may have seen this. What's going on? My fingers are on the wrong keys here. Willie D. Okay, so Willie D, who, if you don't know him, he was, it's still, I guess, you know, a musician. He's a rapper. He's got 70,000 followers on Twitter. He has like 700,000 subs on YouTube. And he signed a deal with Saitama to become part of the team. So he's going to be in charge of NFT content creation. It's a $50 million deal. So it's a good day to be Willie D. That 50 million is his potential earnings. And it says with incentives and bonuses, but his job will be he's the president of NFT curation and talent acquisition. So he's going to be trying to get big name people to create NFTs. And I'm still not really sure how this helps us as Saitama holders. Same with the fact that it's a company. You know, somebody even dropped like a rumor that maybe Saitama LLC would become a publicly traded company. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say how that's gonna the fact that it's their company and the cryptocurrency. Like, we're not really shareholders in the company. The company is doing business and they will be making revenues. And so the people who are employed by the company should be getting paid. But I don't know how that would flow back to us as token holders, other than that we're just going to continue to get really high press. So, okay. So yeah, somebody says thanks to my family. My family's been awesome about this. My I have a I have 4 kids. The oldest one is 25, and the youngest one is 14. And my 14-year-old is always giving me advice, like, Dad, when you start your videos, you need to tell people that they need to like and subscribe, and or that they can follow you on Twitter. And then she's volunteering to be my merch manager. So if we ever come up with merchandise, maybe I'll just let that be her thing, and you guys can help her pay for school or something. But she's excited about it. She thinks it's fun, and they were all excited when the channel monetized. And my other son, who's 18, he's a senior in high school. They'll kind of give me the subscriber count every once in a while, like, holy cow, Dad, you added like 300 subscribers. And so it's been actually pretty fun. It is quite a bit. Mr. Record, you purchased your tickets, man. Maybe we can get together. You definitely need to let me know who you are if I make it, because I'd like to meet some of the Saitama Stacker community. Let me scroll, just figure out what's going on here in the comments. So I saw somebody from Hawaii Hardball. You know that? Yeah, you guys are looking at where are we talking? Understand why people disclose their holdings in the chat. Yeah, I mean, the truth is that's fully out there anyway. I mean, you can go into Dex.io and you can look at every single wallet. You can get the wallet address. But you're right. People do need to make sure that you never want to disclose your key words, and like dusting is a big one that's getting people lately, where people just push out a bunch of cryptocurrency to I dropped my better camera. Sorry about that. So people they push out tiny amounts of crypto in just random wallets, and then if you try to transact on those, they'll wipe you out. So do be careful. I'm trying to look into like the Nano X. It's a hard wallet that you can apparently store all your keys for your different wallets on, and it just secures everything for you. We've got to come up with a better system in the crypto world, though, because the mere fact that you can get wiped out and there's no retribution for that, no way to get restored. I mean, there should be at the bare minimum in every single wallet a feature that makes the owner confirm that they want to do a transaction, that they're allowing their funds to flow out. So I do appreciate Hawaii Hardball that you're talking about security, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's every single person I see posting content has scam people in their comments. It's so ridiculous. I was looking at your pop situation where they took him down for potentially harmful or dangerous content, but they can't come up with a way to give us a delete all comments from a single user option, because I'll have the same stupid WhatsApp scam thing hit 60 comments in the same video. So ridiculous. QS Amelin, thanks for coming in. All right. Eventually raise a 2% distribution. The numbers don't stay the same. Yeah, you're right. And know that 2% distribution, the dead wallet is receiving that also. So the burn rate currently is at least 3% and a little bit. Jordan Trans inviting the attack. I mean, I'm showing as part of my video my Coinbase wallet on every video. And I thought the same thing, like I'm probably going to get screwed here. And at some point, I probably need to come up with a better way. But, I really am just trying to illustrate to people the reflections. And I just wonder, without the transparency, if people will buy that aren't familiar with Saitama. So who should go to Vegas? Hey, ACKEE. I don't know how to address you with that. Is it a key? AC for life? Hey, I appreciate all of your kind comments, your retweets on Twitter, and I'm hoping to go to Vegas. I just have to work it out with my wife. She was a little disheartened. She was happy to have me buy a ticket, but she wasn't real sure if I should spend the money on her. And if she doesn't go with me, it won't be nearly as fun. All right. Somebody says that they had a guy contact them through LinkedIn about a comment that he posted on YouTube. He wanted to talk SHIB and share his WhatsApp with me. Yeah, it's a guarantee that that person is going to try to screw you over, Luciano. So, okay. So George Rivera, let's jump into that. I kind of spent some time in the spreadsheet that I made for yesterday's video. How long till we burn that first zero? So to burn that zero, we need a 10x. That would give us a $4 billion market cap. And that isn't the fully diluted market cap, it's the actual market cap, which is now being reported in coin market cap. See if I can type. Okay, so there you see our current market cap is actually closer to 600. So this market cap needs to grow to 4.4 million to burn a zero. And at the rate that we're climbing, to look back at my other tracker sheet, our market cap was, the fully diluted market cap was 162 million a month and a half ago. So we've 10x that market cap. So to 10x it again, can we do it in another month and a half? I hope we burn a zero by the end of the year. I don't think it's unreasonable to do that, especially with the Cytomask launch and some of these big NFT projects that are coming in, the people who are joining the Saitama team. We've got this week, there should be a MMA event that has the Saitama logo in the ring. And so the dev team is doing a lot to try to move this project forward. So, all right, yeah, just bots. You cannot get rid of these stupid bots, Nico. It's insane. Makes me totally crazy. Jordan Tran with the super sticker. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. Do you have any questions or anything you'd like me to ask for today? Solomon says if he wins the jelly bean jar, he will make some high. Oh, ayacas. So Solomon is from Venezuela. Man, I would be all over that. So I lived in Venezuela for 2 years, and ayacas are a Christmas food that are something to get used to at first, but it's kind of a cornmeal with like dough with meat and olives and stuff inside it, and then it's wrapped in a banana leaf and boiled. And pretty soon you get to where you get craving yourself some ayacas. So yeah, I hope you win then, Solomon, because I would love to have some ayacas. I'd settle for a good arepa. Yeah, thanks a lot, Dean on the screen. Hey, I appreciate that. Sorry there's two of me on the screen, but I'm trying to be able to run my phone and the computer at the same time. Jordan Tran says he loves the show. You don't know how much that means to me, Jordan. In terms of how my personality works, I guess you could say, I'm kind of a guy who's appreciates more emotional reward than financial reward. And I'm not trying to say I'm like saintly or anything, but I mean, I need to earn a good living, and I want to take good care of my family and be a good provider. But when you guys show kindness and appreciation, it really makes me not only want to produce more content, but it makes me want to give you a higher level of content. Some of those videos are pretty hard to make. The one that I did yesterday, I had about 3 hours of prep into it, and you can see the audience response. I see a lot of content that's good. I like the content, but it's pretty scratching the surface, just kind of a report on what's going on. And people do seem to appreciate when you bring something that's a little bit deeper and well thought out. So thank you for that, Jordan. I appreciate it. Okay, what is the value of Ethereum allowed to be withdrawn before the anti-well trap is engaged? So let's talk about that anti-well trap just a little bit. Okay, in the Saitama token website under ecosystem, there are 3 key pieces of the tokenomics that are on display there. Okay, the first one are the reflections, that there's a 2% redistribution out of every transaction. Then there's a burn of 2%. And then there is this anti-well trap. And when I first saw it, I actually thought that it was probably just this passive income deflationary currency. So if you really think about that, if somebody's trading in and out and they pay a 4% fee when they buy, and they pay a 4% fee when they sell, and they're paying the gas fees on top of that, you have to do pretty well to make a profit when you're paying probably 10% or more getting in and out. But I was able to confirm in one of the Friday dev AMAs with Steve at Rocket Crypto, and it wasn't my question, but they answered somebody's question, and this anti-well trap is a separate piece of coding in the software. And as people make sales of big amounts, if it affects the price by a certain amount, it hits them with a heavier fee. And so it is separate from the other 2. How much they have to be selling, I don't know. And I actually wonder that because I have 1 trillion coins, and at some point, I mean, if it 10x's from where it is and then keeps going up, say I had a $500,000 in US dollars and wanted to take some profits of a couple 100,000, am I going to trigger the anti-well trap? So I don't have an exact answer for you on that one. It is a great question though to ask. So if somebody is in one of the dev AMAs, or you're talking with, like if you catch one of the devs on another stream and can ask that question, please clarify the anti-well trap. That would be awesome. Let's see. Jordan says he thinks I'm the most honest guy on YouTube. I appreciate that. I took a little heat for that in some of my first videos because some people almost felt like my level of honesty or just the candidness about, how I feel about the future of Saitama was actually like FUD spreading. So if you're new to crypto, FUD is like fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So people felt like I was spreading FUD, that I was being so negative about it that, that it was almost problematic, But I never changed the way I'm doing things. I did have a good conversation with that person, and so I had to clarify in another video. I actually have a video that's why I love Saitama. And, I don't want to tank the project. My whole goal is to get this to 1 million holders and a top 100 crypto. So I'm all in as far as my energy goes to helping the Saitama project, but I don't want to overly sensationalize it. Hey, Hitoshi Kushama. I love it. That's like Shaitoshi Kusama. Hey, I saw you on the stream, and I appreciate you kicking it back and forth with me. I jumped in on Chad Redding's stream today, and I sent him a super chat so he'd give us a shout out, and he actually read it as Saitama Slacker, which was pretty sad. I was like, man, if anything, I feel like I'm not slacking. I'm like giving it everything that I can. Let me kill this light behind me. See if that's any better for you guys. I think that's making me look a little less angelic. So yeah, it was good to be on. And Chad he's one of my favorite people for technical analysis. He's really good at reading the charts and just kind of talking about where support and resistance is. And so I like those kind of videos, but I don't do a lot of technical analysis. I'm a little more fundamental because I don't have the energy and time to be trading in and out all the time. So I'm trying to find solid projects and then just stay with them. All right. Oh, you've got a B&B in Vegas, Jimbo? Man, that would be kind. I'd just as well pay you than stay in a hotel. So I might follow up with you on that one. My wife, she was down to go to Vegas. I just have to talk her into coming with me because, you know, what's doing something fun if you don't have people you love there to share it with? So I got to talk to her after the stream tonight and see if I can talk her into it. Jordan back with the super sticker. Man, you guys are kind. You're going to end up paying for my wife's ticket by the end of the night. So I don't intend for that to be a solicitation, you guys. We can make it work. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, Zach Humphreys and I would click. I would love to connect with Zach Humphreys, and Zach and Austin Hilton are actually going to be in Vegas, and that's one of the reasons I'd like to go, is to network with those guys. But Chad showed today that they have no idea who I am, you know. And I actually tried to get him to give me a shout out for the video I did yesterday because I think it's crazy informative, and it's been the best response to any video I've ever made. And he called me a shiller, so I guess I was, you know, kind of pandering, trying to get some attention to the community. But it's with I mean, like I think with YouTube, my potential covering only Saitama to make, you know, money off ads or whatever is probably a couple $100 a month at best. So it's more so that I have this goal to grow the Saitama project. So the more people we can bring to the community and give them good quality content, hopefully the better. So let's see. Oh, Luciano, okay, let's address that one. If Saitama LLC becomes profitable as a company, the coin might be forgotten by them and go down. Do you think that's possible? So the reason I don't see that happening, I mean, the company is definitely separate from the token, and that's one of the things I'd like to talk to the development team about is how is the company going to give back to the token side? But my guess is the biggest token holders are the developers. So they're not going to want to see the token be forgotten. And realistically, the fact that they're running a company should give them more and more money to push towards advertising to make this work. So, okay, there was a couple other thoughts here. Chris Moody, so at 100 trillion is the answer. What did I miss? Lisa, yeah, thanks Jeremy for the thumbs up, shout out. Okay, here's the question. So if someone sells 100 trillion, a percentage is paid based, okay, on the price impact. So we're talking back again about the whale trap. Yeah, I don't know exactly where that is. I would assume that it's probably, well, they actually said in the Steve Rocket Crypto video that it has to do with price movement. So if you sell enough to put downward pressure on the price, it triggers that and they take a big fee from you. And I don't know where that goes. If it goes into the burn wallet, or I mean, if it goes somewhat into reflections, it'd be nice if they gave it back in reflections too. So multiple of you guys are talking about being in Vegas. Hey, Rick, how are you doing? Hey, Rick, I appreciate you checking in with me on the regular. Would I consider a group wallet? I've seen a couple people do this. So Cuff and the Dip, actually, I noticed he has 2 different wallets in his stream. And one is for like donations, so they can do giveaways and things like that for the group. And the other one looks like you can donate to him directly. So what are you thinking you'd like to do with a group wallet, Rick? And then while we're talking there, while you're typing that out, Nico, that Uzumaki Inu, I haven't seen that one yet, but I mean, I haven't looked it up, but I have seen that pop up in a couple of streams that I've been watching in the last couple of days. So I can look into it. The other one that comes up to me quite frequently is Baby Saitama. And I'll just show for people who are new to crypto, if you type the word baby, what you find is any token that's doing well, you know, they say like mimicry is the best form of flattery. So they're just piggybacking off projects that are working. So there's Baby Doge, there's Baby Saitama, there's Baby Floki, Baby Safe Moon, Baby Cake, Baby Shiba. So anybody who's successful will have a baby coin, and some of them have actually performed quite well. I looked at Baby Saitama just to see what they look like, and it looked to me like they had a similar setup. They're doing reflections, they're doing a burn, but what they don't have is the Saitama dev team. Okay, they're totally, completely separate projects, and you know, I mean, for me, I don't know. Oh, a wallet for a burn. So people could actually contribute to a wallet that we would just send straight to a burn. Yeah, no Baby Saitama. I'm not covering Baby Saitama, Somi. I don't trust a lot of these new projects. Let me show you one other thing. This is crazy. When I started making videos, the total number of cryptos listed on CoinMarketCap was 11,000 and change. Now there's 12,000, almost 700. Okay, in the world, there are 180 different fiat currencies, so different national currencies. There's 180. So you have to ask yourself, why do we need 12,000 cryptocurrencies? What are going to be the use case on that many that would make them so unique? And to me, I look at Saitama and I say, okay, this one is different. You know, it has a dev team. They created a registered business. They're making huge deals. They're, you know, with the esports, Blaze Games, that was a $50 million deal. This deal with Willie D, $50 million deal. So yeah, I'm not on board with the baby train. Somebody talked about Klee. I did look at Klee. They were talking about Klee Kai on Crypto Deb stream this week, and I looked into it a little bit. I just haven't made a move on it yet. I actually looked at the play to earn game, and yeah, it's kind of interesting. Do you know how many coins you earn in a 24-hour span from the 2% burn? So the burn Hawaii Hardball, those go straight to the dead wallet. But as far as how many I'm earning, I actually keep track of them and I put it in every video, or almost every video. But going back to August 31st, these are my daily increases, like 440 million, 200 million, 275 million, 189 million. You know, and over the process of 6 weeks, I've received 9,800,000,000 tokens in reflections, and that's on 1 trillion coins. So I do have that Saitama Stacker tracker. linked in all the video descriptions. And if you click the link and then file, make a copy, rename it and save it, that copy will be open for your use and you can track your own every day. Hey, there's my son. When he says just got out of surgery, he wasn't having surgery. He was learning to perform surgeries. Chase, how are you doing, my I was going to say my friend, but it goes deeper than that with us. Man, I love you. I'm glad you checked in. We're about an hour into the stream and people have been crazy kind here. We had up to 100 people rolling at 1 minute and we're back. So you want to talk, Jordan wants to talk about Kleekai. I'm not real astute on Kleekai, but let's pull it up and just see what some of the tokenomics are. Unless you're not talking about tonight, Jordan, and you want me to cover that as a content. So let's try to count zeros here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 90291. This is actually a lower price than what I bought. Saitama at. So their fully diluted market cap is 29 million. So this is still a tiny little project. 800,000 in volume. Let's see what the 1 month chart looks like. I hate the way they do their, if you touch the chart with your mouse, it just expands the chart. So it looks like it didn't do much of anything here until a little while ago. And then it had a big bump up, a big run down, a bump up. It's running back down again. So what can you guys tell me about Kleekai? What is it that people are liking about this? Does it have a development team? Are they doxed? You know, these are the kind of things I'm looking at now because I got rug pulled pretty hard on Grapefruit Coin. And I only put $200 in it, but it sucks when your $200 goes to like 50 cents. R&R Adventure, how are you, friend? Thank you for showing appreciation for the content. I'm doing the best I can to keep it coming. Apologies tonight. For those of you who missed the first of the stream, I got stuck down in Utah, bringing a car down to get it serviced. My brother has a Jaguar, has to be taken care of at the Jaguar dealership. And when we got here, there was kind of some issues with the appointment. And so I'm getting to spend the night in a nice hotel, hopefully not 2 nights, but I don't have my regular studio. So I'm kind of running off my phone and my work computer. So far it's going all right. Yeah, Nico saying he got rug pull on Rick and Morty. I saw that Rick and Morty, there were a lot of people really going after it. This comment here from Somi Edicina, that's not a bad idea. If you're gonna be investing in some of these altcoins, so Somi saying invested 260 in Kleekai, it got up to 5,000. She took her profit out and now she's sitting at 2,400. Or Somi, I'm sorry, and no, shouldn't make the assumption, but if you're going to invest in altcoins, and this is what I did with Ryoshi Vision, I invested in it. It had a run up of like 300%. So my $200 became like $600, and I actually took like 2/3 of it out, and then I just left my money alone. And it's actually having a pretty good time lately. And they have a pretty cool reflection in that Ryoshi Vision, where if you have any SHIB staked on the Shiba swap, they do reflections, or they're giving out, and they're giving an equal amount to every SHIB holder, which is weird. Like if you have, like I have 200 million Shiba Inu staked, and if you have 1 million staked, you get the same reflection in Ryoshi Vision. So Adam Shelton, he actually had a pretty interesting video on that, where he made a really good point. Rewards time. Okay, this video right here, where he talked about the fact that he actually has two different wallets. Like he has a MetaMask wallet and a Trust wallet, and he has the coins staked from both wallets. So it's different accounts on the Shiba swap, and he's getting those Ryoshi Vision reflections in both accounts. So he's like, even if you have $5, you know, it was a good point. It's pretty smart guy, Adam Shelton. Yeah, let's see what else is going on here. One thing I'm iffy about, no photos for them, but they have been transparent on the streams. So they're not fully doxed. That's the CLE. So yeah, and Big A Armory is saying that CLE's labeled as rug proof. The general manager is doxed, and believe one of the other members of the development team is as well being considered now as to possibly enact a burn. Boy, I hope they have some kind of a burn, because with CLE, that's one of the other things I noticed. This max supply, this is pretty common with these new projects. They're coming out with 100 quadrillion tokens. If you don't have some way to burn that, how do you burn zeros? You know, it's just a massive, massive supply. So Shiba Inu started with 1 quadrillion. Saitama started with 100 quadrillion. They both burned 50% of their supply. But even with Saitama having burned 50% of the supply, they were still 50 times larger in terms of the token supply as SHIB was initially. So they better have a way to deal with these large token supplies, or it's going to be hard to move the price up dramatically. I mean, to burn the first 0 or 2 is pretty doable. But when you get beyond that, it starts taking a massive amount of market cap in order to do that. Burn was not in the original plans by the original investors. Yeah, so this original developers, that's another thing I see happen really often is, seems like people will launch these projects and then they almost immediately abandon them. You know, so Shiba was launched by somebody named Ryoshi, and then Ryoshi couldn't see it through. So Satoshi Kusama picks up the project and runs with it. Saitama actually was launched by somebody who then couldn't stay with it. And then it was Russ and the rest of the devs that picked up the project. Okay, sounds good. Rick, my email is in the description of all of the videos. So yeah, feel free to reach out to me by email. What is the strategy when creating a token or setting the coin size? Well, that's a good question. I mean, you look at Bitcoin, which was the original, and they started with a very limited supply by what's today's standards. So the fact that there's $60,000 a coin is almost impossible with these kind of projects because we have such massive token supplies. But quite frankly, 12,683 cryptos, I'd be willing to bet you that the bulk of those projects, the developers are essentially just keeping half the supply, putting it out there, hoping people will invest, and then selling off their portion, making some money and walking away, like a rug pull or a pump and dump type scheme. I don't see most of them being legitimate. There's just no reason to have 13,000 different coins. So there's your circulating supply of Bitcoin is only 18 million, which is why they can achieve prices of 58,000. Ethereum is a much larger supply than Bitcoin, but it's still quite low compared to a lot of these new projects. There's right there, 117 million. So they're 10 times the supply, and they're actually trying to figure out how to burn some of that. But you think you're adding, 9 more zeros to that to get to 100 quadrillion, which is what a lot of these new projects are. So I would be cautious on any of these new ones unless you're a trader and you think you can catch the low and sell at the high. I don't know. I do like Shiba Inu for the same reason I like Saitama, which is at least it has a development team. I wish they were doxed, and I wish they would kind of tell us more what their plans are. But it's just one of those things. So, all right, Plano, thanks for checking in, man. Appreciate you joining us on the stream. Yeah, so Sleeper Chills, just dropping some Luffy, Chopper, and Goku. The only one of those I've even heard about is Luffy, and you know, again, if you're going to join any project, my recommendation is just make sure you're doing your homework and that you understand your why. Don't just invest in something because it has momentum, or because your friends are buying it or whatever, they're excited about it. So you got to know why you're investing. And for me, unless you're really going short term, then you better have some kind of substance to the coin in terms of a dev team or projects that they're doing that are going to bring some real value. So let's see. Yeah, Andy Charles talking about the ETH fees, the gas fees. It is brutal. It's so hard, especially for small investors. If you're wanting to dollar cost average in $20 at a time or $30 at a time, it's almost impossible. I'm going to mute and cough. Unmute. Sorry about that. Yeah, WEMP token, women's empowerment token. I'll tell you what, if anybody wanted to talk about something that needs to happen in crypto, it's that we need more women involved. When I look at the viewership on my videos, it's like less than 10% women watching the videos. There's no women on the Saitama dev team, though there are women involved. And in the crypto space, in terms of people making content, it's one of the reasons I like crypto dev is just because she's talented and she's given a different perspective. And I think she has more appeal to a female audience because she's female. So if you are out there and you're a lady and you're interested in making content, I think you could do really well because there's just nobody in the space. We need more. So Cabo Luna, the WIMP token, I'll take a look at it. All right. Do you know why newer coins like Saitama are created with an absurd amount of supply, virtually impossible to reach a penny? Yeah, I don't know. I think, again, it's just kind of where that's headed. I actually saw one project that has 1 quintillion, so 10 times the original supply of Saitama. Like, you better have a plan there. It's just hard to ever move that anywhere. And quite frankly, the numbers are hard to deal with. If you were to show people 45 quadrillion, just write it down on a piece of paper and take it out on the street and show people, I think half of them would probably have a hard time even identifying what that number is, because how often do you use the quadrillion? I actually looked the other day online. There are like names for numbers larger than that, like quintillion and sextillion and septillion, octillion. So hey, shout out to Drew Reyes' girlfriend. Hopefully we're not boring you to tears. My wife absolutely is bored to death by this stuff, but she's in Idaho resting and I'm in a different state. So glad to be hanging out with you guys. Let's see, people talking about Klee and Luffy. 34 quadrillion. This one actually has 44 quadrillion currently, if you're talking about Saitama. So, but legitimacy, I'm not saying that different projects are less legitimate. You never know what's going to take a run, right? These are community-based tokens. So if they can build a strong enough community, I mean, Shiba is the perfect example of that. They've got 700,000 people in like 14 months. They've created something that's hard to slow down. I mean, they are in the top 14 tokens this week. So you never know what the power of community can do, which is, and I'm hoping that the power of community will play out for Saitama, which is why I'm trying to build the Saitama community. Yeah, I did see that Klee has plans to move to the Harmony blockchain, which will lower the fees. And that I even heard that their Klee run game that you get rewards for playing, that those Klee will actually be coming off the Harmony blockchain. I don't know how that works to port over to a new blockchain, but the Harmony blockchain in general is actually one that's kind of interesting to me right now. I just need to do more research on it. And then, of course, the central exchanges that are coming on board are a big deal. I think they're a little bit easier to use, and they have lower fees. The downside is you don't really own your tokens, so it's hard to port them around from one place to the other. I know Robinhood is planning on coming up with a crypto wallet that will make it more simple to port your stuff around. So if you buy your Ethereum on Robinhood, you can send it to Coinbase or wherever. Then you would actually be holding the token. Okay. Yeah, true. Make your girlfriend a Saitama YouTuber. I think she'd be awesome. Yeah, there's plenty of room for women in crypto. Cabo Luna says with WIMP he's made $10,000 in 3 days. Adam Rhodes, hey, thank you for the feedback on the video yesterday. That was I was pretty happy with that content. I wish I could bring that level of content daily, but it takes quite a bit of time to put it together. Adam, you'll notice I'm not in the craft room. I'm stuck in a different state waiting for a car to get fixed. So any news, new news? Is there new news? Angry Aussie. Is there new news? I don't know. The news that I've been talking about so far has to do mostly with like Willie D signing this $50 million deal, becoming the president of NFT curation. So that's big news. And then the Saitama Guru had something that was really intriguing to me. Just one of his posts talking about dropping a bomb tomorrow. So in this post, he actually should have dropped it this morning. If he posted this yesterday, I'd like to see. Maybe it was the Willie D news, but he's saying the major press release unexpected for tomorrow with an amazing opportunity for Saitama. Let's let the world see what the power in numbers really means. I'd like to know what he means by that. Does anybody know that's in the stream? Has he dropped anything new? Yeah, craft room's better, Red Sox. I agree. I've got a light in there, and it's way more comfortable. And then when I'm done, I get to sleep in my own bed. What do I mean, OG J-Breeze, by you don't own your tokens? So there are certain exchanges, or like Robinhood, where when you make a buy, you're essentially just buying into a pool of tokens. So you own them in that they're allocated to you, but you don't own them on the blockchain with a contract like you do when you buy them in the DeFi space, which means you don't have the ability to then send them to other people or to use them for purchasing. You'd have to sell them and then move the money around. So take off the dots. I don't know what you mean by that, Angry Aussie. Yeah, Adam Shelton is a good guy. Okay, now you missed the crafter. I'll tell my wife. She'll get a good laugh at that. She does not miss me not being in her craft room. When is the app coming out? If we're talking about the CytoMask app, the launch for that is November 13th in Las Vegas. And it should be amazing. It looks amazing. It's so much more too than just a wallet. You know, I try a lot of different wallets because I feel like, you know, if people are asking questions, I want to be as informed as I can be to give help with those. But most crypto wallets just allow you to link to a DeFi exchange like Uniswap or PancakeSwap, and then make purchases, and then of course you can transfer them from wallet to wallet or send them to other people. But the CytoMask wallet is more than just, you know, DeFi exchange. They're also talking about having like the ability to buy and sell goods and services. So it'd be like a Fiverr or a eBay type platform. And then they're going to do education on there. And then they'll also have a creator space where you can create NFTs and trade NFTs. So that's November 13th. Yeah, you can't just send tokens to your MetaMask if you've got them in Robinhood or if you've got them in Webull. As far as Coinbase goes, I don't even know if you can get your coins into Coinbase because the central exchanges, they only support tokens that are listed on the exchange. So you have to use one of the DeFi wallets. Once we get listed on central exchanges, so like Bitmart, we're supposed to list next week. It'll be interesting to see if you can send tokens from your Bitmart wallet to a DeFi wallet. All right. I need a Saitama hat. Yeah, I need some merch. This is my work hat for where I work now. I work at a women's health center. And I actually don't wear a hat very often, but I do seem to be wearing one every time I make a video. I don't know why that is. The stats of the videos are realistic and it looks promising. Yeah, I mean, the reality is I think the Saitama project is promising. I see it doing really, really well. That's why I'm so bullish and why I create the content. So but I am trying to keep it realistic and not be over sensationalized. Okay, sir, please read my one comment at least. Did I miss any other ones? Bro, see what I missed. I definitely got some of your comments down here at the bottom. Bro Pro 143. Yeah, waiting for CytoMask. We're all waiting for CytoMask. It's going to be awesome. So, did I see the video where 50 million will be paid on future earnings, not right away? Oh, yeah. If you're talking on the 50 million, if you're talking about the deal with Willie D, that's exactly what I understood. That he's going to be receiving that in incentives and bonuses. So it's going to be based on his ability to go out and create the business. So, but those NFT projects can be worth a lot of money. So I hope it goes well for him. Bro 2 Pro 143. I love you too, man. Yeah. Yeah. So if that's what you're talking about, Adam, that's exactly what I'm seeing too. Uh-oh. Somebody's spamming us. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a moderator to get rid of people like that. Please don't spam the comments, guys. My wife is here. Please say hi to Renee. Hey, Renee, how are you doing? Renee, we're looking for more women YouTubers out there. So if you want to start up your own channel, I can give you bad advice. I'm actually pretty bad with all of the technology and stuff, but I can tell you there are very few people in the space that are women that are talking about cryptocurrency. So yeah, that's right. The Willie D, Big A Armory, same comment that Adam was making, which is basically if you don't get it done, you're not going to make a lot of. I don't know how to do the wrenches from here, to be honest. So I'm using StreamYard. I'll have to do a tutorial on how to do it, but please don't click on any of this nonsense stuff if people are trying to spam that into the contents. Drew, I'd make you a moderator. All of you guys that have been around from the beginning, I have no idea. Let's see if we can figure it out. If anybody is an expert in using, oh, maybe I can do it from right here. Nope, I can put you in a timeout or block you. I could do that to that goofball. Block user. Let's see if that gets rid of him. Okay. So, yeah, everybody's saying hi to Renee. Yeah, I'll figure out how to do the moderator thing and just make several of you moderators. Oh, there it is again. Armzilla. Please, people. Why does it have to be that way? All right. Yeah, Edward Eldridge just says again, thanks for keeping it realistic and not promising dramatic rises. Well, I don't know how anybody can promise anything, but we are trying to be as scientific as we can. If you look at what I'm tracking on the daily here, I look at what I consider like fundamental markers for Saitama. And if you look at just what's happening with the holders, I've been tracking now for about 6 weeks. And we're talking doubling the holders in 6 weeks. You know, if we can keep that kind of momentum, I mean, we're definitely going to have 100,000 holders by the end of the year, the way we're going. And the more holders we have, that does seem to drive increase in market cap, which drives the price. I mean, the price is driven by buyers and sellers, but even this volume, the more people we have holding and transacting, the volume will go up, which will assist us with the burn and will also help us with reflections. This ranking statistic is one that's been a little frustrating for me. Going back 6 weeks, we were 2843, and we just hover kind of in this 2700 rank. I want to see Saitama as a top 100 token. So that'll be one of the analysis videos I do here coming soon, will be how much market cap is it going to take to get us into the top 100, and when can we do that by? I mean, it's not hard to see what the market cap would be. We could just go on to coin market cap and figure that out. But lady here from New Zealand, loving Saitama's journey. Welcome to the stream, New Zealand. Someplace I've always wanted to visit. Jelly bean update. Adam, we did one earlier. Let's do it again. It has been a minute. So with 67,300 holders, we've now eliminated 21 guesses, which is 5% of the total guesses. And Bitcoin Moses is going to be the next one to go down. He may have already lost himself at this point. Let's see just where the holder count is for Saitama. So that's one thing that I noticed. There's a lot of people who are Saitama, like S-A-Y-Tama. And I had a tendency to be more of a Saitama. like S-E-Y-E. Do you guys have a preference on how people pronounce this? Okay, look at this. 68,429. That's insane. I don't know if that just barely updated. 68,429. That is a massive move from what I reported. 68,429. I hope that's correct. I mean, it's coin market cap, but that would be like 1,200 holders in the last hour and a half. Unless I don't know when their stuff updates, but either way, from yesterday to today, 2,400 holders. Man, that's amazing. That's actually going to kill a bunch of people in the jelly bean. 68,429. We'll see who just went down. We'll leave Chris C in there. But Hellcat Crypto, Franklin Garner, another Chris C guess. Mer7 actually looks like I double entered that one, but 30 people now eliminated. So that's coming up here in not too long, 16 days, 17 days. So, all right, what else is going on? Sorry. No, anytime you want to join is fine. Normally, I don't know if I would run a broadcast for this long, but I'm stuck in another state, so I plan on staying on for 2 hours, at which point I've got to probably shut it down because I'm in a hotel and the person on the other side of the wall's probably starting to think about banging on the wall. 68,454. What did I put in? 68,454. Yeah, so almost 2,500 holders from yesterday to today. If we're gaining this kind of momentum, you're going to start seeing that reflected in the price. So big things are happening too. These, like Rick Ross, being in a video with Willie D talking about Saitama. Those guys have massive reach and influence. Yeah, Dex Tools is saying 69,511. Yeah, I'm down with Dex Tools. The truth is, my original videos, I made them all using the SaitamaToken.com website. And I tried to just stay with one source because they don't seem to line up. I mean, they're all reasonably close together, but I'm down with Dex Tools. For the end of the Jelly Bean Jar contest, if it's reporting on SaitamaToken.com, I will use that number because it's kind of the one that I said I would use. If not, maybe that'll really make some people angry. But if you look at that Jelly Bean Jar contest, if we look at some of the top, I mean, somebody had a guess that was all the way up in the 200,000 range, but most of the people will be knocked out by 150,000. So if it really goes off, we'll have to come up with a new way. We'll just do a random drawing or something. But that's been a fun one for me. It was painful to put that together, but now that it's done, it's fun. Please say hi to Manpreet. Hey, if I get to Vegas, I will definitely say hi to Manpreet, bro. Pro 143. I like Manpreet. He's been on a couple of the AMAs, and he seems to be just a straight shooter. And I know he's working on getting Saitama listed on an Indian exchange right now. So that would be awesome. Lots of people in India. This is a more the merrier situation. Yeah, I hope Bilal Alamin. I 100% agree. I hope all of us lose because there are so many holders by October. Then we do all win. You are 100% correct. Can I check you? I'm guessing Solomon, you're talking about maybe making you a moderator, or did I miss something? Oh, check you in the Jelly Bean Jar. Yeah, we can check you. I actually have a filter built in. So if I sort it A to Z, then I can go down and show you where it's at. I should just make a copy of this available so you guys can track your own. Let's see here if I can scroll down to the S's. So there you are. Solomon, I've got you down for two guesses at 95.5 and 97.5. I would say those are pretty solid guesses. I would think you're going to be in the ballpark with that one. But who knows? A key for life. Please check me. You got it. That's back at the top of the spreadsheet, so that should be pretty easy to find. Oh, are you not? I don't know. I've got you there. Did your guesses go in by the 4th? Or would you be under something else in terms of your name in the contest? Are your comments different? No, because it was YouTube, so that's your YouTube. Oh, if you've got it under Food Lover, it's definitely, I have Food Lover in there. Are you one and the same? Are you Food Lover? Food Lover has been extraordinarily kind to me. There's Food Lover right there. So I've got you at 82, 267, 83, 113, and 85, 869. All of those are pretty solid guesses. This 80,000 was the average guess. And there were like 13 people who guessed 80,000. Let's see, do we get any other? What does the magic spreadsheet say about 409? We can look at that. Adam Rhodes, yeah, let's take a peek. You're always kind, Adam, so I'm happy to do you a solid anytime. So I've got two guesses for you at 71.2 and 75.3. I'm worried for you, buddy. I'm worried. I think you're going to get swallowed up on those guesses, but we'll have to see. All right, let's see who else. Do I think that we'll be listed on crypto.com? And is that a top exchange? Let's see if I can find that tweet that was the top. Okay, so here's the top exchanges, the top 10. Crypto is in this list, number 5. And crypto.com was one of the exchanges that picked up Shiba Inu pretty early. I actually purchased my first Shiba Inu on crypto.com. So I think, yes, that is a possibility. Russell was hinting at the fact that it was most likely not Binance because Binance wanted us to have 150,000 holders before they would get on board. But he has talked about also the fact that our volume has been high. We had a day over 20 million, and those exchanges get paid based on the volume. So they might be in the running, but definitely crypto.com I think is a good guess. Please make the jar viewable to us all. I can do that, but I'll have to save an official copy that nobody can alter because I don't want to get played. But I will. I'll make a copy of it. I'll put it in the show notes from this one, and you guys can dig in there and find it. You won't have to dig through those old comments to try to find them like I did. That was a project, guys. It's like 4 hours to put those 400 guesses in there. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so Food Lover changed. What would I call you with that ACKEE? Is it, if you could write it out in some kind of like broke down chunks for me so I can call you by the right name. But Food Lover for Life was an early supporter of the channel. So if that's you, one and the same, I appreciate it. Saving money to invest in SIDA when it lists in India. Yeah, Bro2 Pro 143. I'm actually kind of fascinated to understand how people in other countries buy Saitama. I don't know which wallets work in which countries and how all that stuff works, but we have people watching the videos right now from like 17 different countries. So it's amazing to me. Here, Crypto Zeus 888, we can sort by numbers and see if anybody else matched your guess. Let's see, I think we just do the same, sort A to Z. All eights. I remember that one, actually. Lots of guesses. Okay, so here you go. Look at this. So there's Zeus Crypto. You have Rick Mason, who was actually in the stream too. 88,888. Lil Tyke, Jeremy Kennerson, Cassandra Tsang. So it looks like there's 5 of you with that guess. So kind of fascinating. Great minds think alike. Yeah, BroPro 143. The gas fees are killing everybody. It's the most annoying thing. I have people who are close to me that are like, I actually kept on the download that I was making videos from my friends, a bunch of people for weeks. And then when they found out, some of them were like, hey man, I want to buy some. And then they just get shocked by the fees. I wonder how Saitama token will be incorporated into the rest of the business plans outside the exchange. Yeah, Hawaii hardball. That is probably my #1 question right now. Because I have heard Russ say things like, you know, as a Saitama token holder, you're a shareholder in the business. Well, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe. Oh, Jeremy Kennerson's in this too. So Crypto, Zeus, and you guys may want to go to lunch together because you're like-minded. That's funny that there's so many of you in the stream. What do I think of your guess? Andrew Miles, let's take a look. Let's see what you guessed. Hopefully you guys are having fun with this. We might do something similar in November. Andrew Miles, let's see if I can find you here. Whoop. Computer's responding a little slow here. Gotta have it. Come on. There you are. Andrew Miles, 101,126. There's Angry Aussie, who is also in the stream at 122,568. You could have up to 3 guesses. And people are still sending them to me, but I'm not adding them because they missed the deadline. But I think 101,000 is a pretty solid guess, Andrew. I think that's a really solid guess. Hey, it looks like Russ is going to be on Crypto Deb's stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll hit her up and see if she'll let me join the stream, because she let me join before, and I would love to get in front of Russ and ask that. I could ask that question potentially from inside the stream. When are we going to actually know which exchange it is? Because it's been 2 weeks and no news. Okay. Yeah, that's true. And I wonder if Russell's feeling a little sheepish about that, because he made it sound like they were going to drop really soon. But I saw this with Shiba too. And they would talk about major events coming, and it's and then it took longer than they thought it was going to take. People start getting frustrating, and then they come out with the pitchforks and the torches to burn them down. But I trust that Russell is straightforward with us, that they do have those listings coming. He said that everything on our side was completed, and it was essentially just waiting for legal. So yeah, I would just hang tight and know that everything I've ever seen them say they're going to do, they've come through with. So I don't have any reason to doubt them on that. Let's see here. I'm going to back up. A key. I'm going to go with A key. I appreciate it. All right. If the guesses are correct, do we split? That's what I say. I think I would rather see like a cage match, fight to the death. I mean, it will be like $150 worth of Saitama, so only one person can benefit. Now we'll figure it out. How many people holding Saitama? We looked at that just a minute ago, but there was a massive jump between yesterday and today. 68,454, which is almost 2,500 new holders over yesterday. And somebody reported that Dex.io is reporting almost 70,000 holders. So it's building, getting a lot of love here lately. Bitcoin corrects. Will Saitama take a hit? We talked about that a little earlier too, Anthony. And Saitama hasn't really tracked as closely to Bitcoin as some of the other larger altcoins do, because we're still small enough, I think, that we're doing our own thing and we're in a really big growth phase. So we seem to be bucking the trend with that. But eventually, as it stabilizes, it does seem like, when the crypto market rises, the altcoins rise and can fall the same way. What do I think of a fundraising event that they did in light of huge contracts that they've been awarded recently to get visibility for the project? So you're talking about the 50,000 that they asked to fundraise. So the thing with the big contracts that they're doing is those are all based on future revenues. So this $50 million deal they did with Willie D is all going to be based on his ability to go generate revenue for the business. But the business hasn't made anything that I know of so far, and they put out money to be advertising in like the MMA fights. And so I think it's fair to raise some money for the project. I think the farther we get into that, there'll be less community and more internal revenue, revenue from the company that funds those kind of things. So yeah, I actually tried to shoot some money to him, and to be honest, I had a hard time getting it to work. You had to send it in USDT. And so I went and transferred some Ethereum to USDT and tried to send it. And I kept having the transaction fail in my Coinbase account. So I don't know. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Okay, Saitama should start Healthy Pump any hour. With all the news and Bitmart exchange. Yeah, I agree. I kind of said this the other day with Shiba Inu, but if you followed Shiba Inu, when they launched the Shiba swap, I was crazy excited about that. Like, I was sitting there like trying as hard as I could to get my money into the Shiba swap and get it staked. And I was pretty confident that Shiba was going to just blast off. And then it really didn't do much of anything. And then they got a couple additional listings, and like Webull, Coinbase Pro. Then they got unlisted from Coinbase Pro, and eventually they got relisted on Coinbase Pro. And the price just stayed totally stable for the longest time. And it was kind of frustrating. I was thinking, like, maybe this just isn't going to work out. So it's what I liken that to, though, for Shiba Inu. You saw they had the big run up the other day of 300%. I think that was made possible by the fact that they had all those things. I liken it to a bow, and like, you pull the bow back and you have all this stored energy. I don't know where my camera is. You have all the stored energy in the bowstring, and then all of a sudden you let it go and it just releases all at once, and you have this big run up. I don't think it would have been possible for Shiba to have the big run that they had if they didn't have all of those different listings, because once they got the good news, and it actually, I think it had to do with Elon Musk tweeting about Floki, his dog, with Shiba Inu. It's a possible reason for it to go. There's that Let's Go Brandon. I'm still not in on that inside joke. You guys are gonna have to let me know how that works. But yeah, I mean, I think getting these listings will be good. Don't be frustrated if the coin doesn't take off immediately. Bro2 Pro 143, 301 anytime soon. Can I do the math? So I did a video on that yesterday, but I'll show you the spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet is available for anybody who wants it. It's linked in the video. And my computer is not moving very fast here. Okay, so to get to 3 zeros, it's going to be a minute. Okay, so that would be 10,000 times current market cap at the current coin supply. That's the tricky part here. So we have 44 quadrillion coins. If we maintain that level of coin volume, then it would take 4 trillion market cap to get 3 zeros in a 1. That would be 4 times the current market cap of Bitcoin and roughly 2 times the market cap of the entire crypto universe. So I do think the universe of crypto is going to grow. But for us to get there, you're talking about quite some time. The other way to get there is to burn a massive supply of the tokens. So once we burn 99% of the tokens, let's see, here's a 3 right here. So once we've burned 99.5% of the tokens, if we could reach a market cap of 100 billion, we would be at 3 zeros, almost 2. So you could do it on half that market cap, basically 50 billion and a 99.5% burn of the supply. Good question. I'm making that spreadsheet is available to people if you want to use it. Okay, what have I missed here? Today we will have to stream until 7 a.m. since Stocker's wife is watching him so that he behaves. I don't think she would watch this long. I can't even talk to her about crypto for 5 minutes without her eyes rolling up in her head. But I guarantee you, if it goes well, she'll be more than happy to help me spend the money. Probably on a new craft room. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Let's Go Brandon comes from NASCAR broadcast where the winner was being interviewed. The crowd was chanting F Joe Biden, but the interviewer said that they were saying, "Let's go Brandon." Man, I'll tell you what, being the president of the United States is a hard job, man. 50% of the country hates you automatically. And I've been way less political in the last 10 years because it's just not happy news most of the time. I wish we could get highly qualified people who are eloquent and kind and that were, oh, I just lost my camera. See if I can join back in. It must have timed out on me. But who were eloquent and kind and who had the country's best interest at heart and that could really be there for everybody and
not just for their party.
Mute that, kill that echo. All right. Let's go, Brandon. I like that. That's pretty funny. Don't know if you've heard about SafeMoon switching their coin to make it easier to pair with Bitcoin and maybe be able to get on Binance. You think Saitama will have the same issue? So easier to pair with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is hard to pair with because it's on its own blockchain, and most coins are made on the Ethereum blockchain. But I don't really know how that works pairing-wise, CryptoZeus. It's a good question. What is my task in the team? AYBRJL. I guess I don't know exactly what you mean by what my task is in the team. If you're talking about the Saitama team, I'm 100% independent. I'm not part of the team. I can't actually even get those guys to come and be on the stream with me. But I will. I'm going to get to them. This is a matter of time. I'm going to wear them down. But I'm just independent, and I like Saitama. It's a project I believe is going to go far. So I selected it as my pet project, and I pretty much exclusively make content about Saitama. And I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't plan on making this my my job. Well, I have a pretty good job with some really big projects coming next year, starting some new business ventures with my family. And so, but I do have time to do one project, and that's where I'm at with this Saitama. Yeah, Aaron Thornberry points out, I have more subscribers than a lot of the places where they appear. So my theory on that one is that most of the people that you see them appearing with are streamers. So I don't do a lot of streams. This is only the third stream I've done, and I'm actually only streaming tonight because I'm away from my house and my studio setup, and this was the only way I could think of to get to you guys tonight. And I'm stuck in a hotel, so might as well make the best of it. I mean, we've been streaming for a couple hours, so and I'm having a good time. I'd much rather do this than watch, TV or more YouTube content. So, yeah, Aaron, it is a little bit strange, but I think that they're starting to see our subscriber base increasing, and I'm hoping that we have their attention. It's one of the reasons I'd like to go to Vegas. But I know there's a couple of them who know about me. There are people that are kicking me around on Twitter and kind of tagging me in posts to people that they're like in their what do you call it? Your special club that you can create on YouTube. Oh, come on. Everybody will have you join their special club. I don't remember. Everybody's got one. But Patreon, they're Patreon. So some people that know, like, that are in Jake's Patreon, Jake Gagan, they're sending him messages to bring me onto his stream. And I did get in with Crypto Deb. And in that same one, Cuffin the Dip was in there. So I venture to guess I could get into Cuffin's stream. But that's why I think you're seeing the devs on those streams. I mean, Russ was on Cuffin the Dip stream when he only had 400 subscribers. So more power to him. So I'm going to try to reach out to people like Michael Thompson and see if I can get him on the stream. I've also reached out already via Twitter to like Mr. Diamond Hands, the real Saitama Queen, who's Russ's wife. I reached out to her today because her direct messaging was open, but theirs wasn't so much. Oh yeah, we'll look at your guesses here, Ned. Let me answer. Solomon, my Twitter is Stacker Saitama. Somebody already had Saitama Stacker because I didn't set my Twitter up when I set up my YouTube. So I'd already made some videos, and I don't know if somebody just beat me to it, or sometimes there's a lot of people in the world. I may have just missed the opportunity, but my Twitter is @Stacker Saitama. Let's see, I can actually post it in the comments here. And this is not my regular keyboard. Okay, there it is. @Stacker Saitama. All right. Before I get into WD's question, let's look at Ned Kensing's guesses. At least you guys can verify that I did my work. Ned. LM. Is it under K? I thought I saw your name in here already once. I'm not seeing you, Ned. I don't know if did your guesses come in time? Yeah, I'm not. Oh, maybe it's because everything's out of order. I see what's. No. It's all ordered alphabetically. So Ned, I don't know. If you can tell me what video you commented in, we'll get you added. Okay. Saitama did their initial coin offering. Do you know how the money finds its way to fund the company? How does Saitama get money to pay the help? Strictly off the higher value of coin. Okay, so this to me is going to just, I'm not really, I haven't verified this information, but here's the way I understand it. Okay, so, and this somewhat's in the white paper for Saitama, but somebody created Saitama and they built the cryptocurrency and decided all the tokenomics and created a white paper for it. And the white paper is kind of your listing document or your founding documents. And whoever created it dropped the project, which is the case with most of these, or there is no project. There is no, like with Grapefruit Coin, which was my experience with getting rug pulled. I don't know if they have a white paper still, but for some reason, Russ and the other devs saw the value in the project, so they picked it up. My guess is, they bought in at extraordinarily low prices. So the incentive for them to work it is that as the price increases, their wealth increases. Now, the company, if you're talking about the LLC, that's a whole separate thing, really. So Saitama Token and Saitama LLC are related, but I still don't know how they interact with each other. But the company, Saitama LLC, is the one that's doing these deals with Blaze Games, with Willie D, the MMA advertising. So I think, that's, I don't know how they're going to interact with us, but I can tell you, if you look at the dev team now, so it's under the transparency tab. So two of these guys, Gabriel and Nam, both have quit their jobs now. So they must be doing okay with the project or have really high hopes for what the future holds. And I know Gabriel, he's one of the big programmers and has done the NFT designs. He was working with the company he was with for like more than 10 years. So I watched, did I miss that? Where did it go? I've watched Maria live stream with Russ yesterday. Russ mentions that the 67,000 holders doesn't include those who hold in exchanges. Wow, yeah. So there are a bunch of exchanges that we're already listed with. I don't know how big those are. It's under the buy tab on the Saitama Token website. So if that ever loads, I don't know why the computer is going so slow, probably because the brain power required to stream is pretty heavy. Okay, so under the buy tab, if you look at the centralized finance, there we go. This BKEX, LBank, Consbit, Bilaxi, I know Hotbit. Those are all places where we've already been listed. They're just smaller exchanges compared to the ones that, like Bitmart, where we're going to be listed next week. So good question. Hey, Ned, don't sweat it on the, excuse me, on the, don't sweat it on the jelly bean contest. If you can find it, I'll get you added in. I can go back and look too. I should be able to search through the comments by your name, but I am still getting people that send me guesses every day, and I don't add those ones in. I think I cut it off on the 4th of October. Just for Clee fans, Jeremy Kennerson, my reflections the last 24 hours are 174 million 24 hours. Only invested 0.008 ETH at 3,000. What are we talking about there, Jeremy? 0.008 ETH is like 24 bucks. Is that correct? Wish we could see those holders and exchanges. Who knows what could have just had 100,000 holders. Yeah, I don't know how that works with the exchanges. The other thing that's kind of interesting with the exchanges for me is I don't really know if they're getting the reflections. And the reflections do really add up, especially as the price increases of Saitama. If you look at my reflections, now this has got to go back to the actual price because this looks crazy. What is the current price? 1338. Looks like we've lost a little ground while we're streaming here. Hopefully that's not my fault. So I've received almost 10 billion in rewards or reflections since August 31st on 1 trillion coins. My initial investment was under $1,000. It was right around 1,000. And currently my reflections are worth about $131. So not quite 20% my initial investment, but they really do add up over time. All right. Let's see. Exchange. Oh, you missed the date, Ned. I'll tell you what, you're on the stream. Throw me out your wild guess and I'll put you in there. And then if you win, everybody will be angry, but we'll make it work. Throw me a guess, Ned. That's gonna spark anybody else who's in the stream that didn't guess. Okay, Rick, I'll check out that email. Okay, so LBank is giving rewards. I understood that. I think Hotbit is the one that people are saying they're not seeing those reflections. Hey, Jim, how are you doing? You're kind of catching us at the end here. I'm in a hotel, so I'm probably going to drop here in another 5 to 10 minutes so I don't tick off the neighbors. Anybody have any final questions or things you want to talk about before we shut her down? Ned, did you drop out after we gave you the go-ahead on the late entry? Good night, Rick. Well, I'll check that email and try to follow up with you. Secondary Hail Mary. Kleekai, I'm going to look into it a little bit more. My biggest issue with all cryptos, it's not Kleekai, but I just had a couple bad experiences. And so I'm more cautious about, do they have a dev team? Do they have, do they have a like a plan for the future? What is their roadmap? If it's just, I mean, Klee has a game at least, and I've seen people play the game. It looks pretty basic, but it looks pretty fun. WD, thank you. Thanks for being in this stream with us. The craft room is much better. I agree. I just have better setup there. And I actually got my green screen, so I'm going to be able to put the Saitama Stacker logo behind me on these streams to burn the next 5 quadrillion. So big A Armory, that is a really good question. So the burn has slowed down quite a bit as the burn slowed down quite a bit as the price went up. And I have a video on that called The Mechanics of the Burn. I thought it was like the most boring video, but it's had quite a few people view it. And so essentially, to keep the burn rate the same as it was in the first 5 months, the volume has to move in lockstep with the price. Okay, so if the price went up, it actually has gone up about 1,000%. So the volume would need to go up 1,000% to maintain that high rate of burn. And there are some great things. in terms of like possibility for high volume. If you look at Dogecoin's volume, it's really high, and that would really produce a good burn rate for Saitama. But in the last 6 weeks, we've only burned about 0.5%. So we're really kind of slowing down. So another 5%, it could honestly be several months. It just depends on what happens with the volume. So take a look at that mechanics of burn video, see what you think. But volume when price doesn't move is key. That is exactly correct, Angry Aussie. So when you look at what's going on today, where we're relatively flat, okay, so from yesterday to today, the easiest math here is just this fully diluted market cap. We're talking 2 million in increase, and that's gone back down a little. The volume is at 10 million without any change in price. So this helps definitely with the burn. Or if the price comes down some, then every dollar that goes in buying burns a higher number of tokens because of how many tokens you can buy with a 2% burn. And then the other thing to take into account, I actually have that spreadsheet still, the burn analysis. But the thing to know is the dead wallet is receiving 50% of the reflections, actually 55. So the current burn rate is actually 3.1%. Maybe higher than that now because we're like 55.39 or something. So this spreadsheet right here is the one I used in that mechanics of the burn. It shows that 150 days to burn 5%. And then in like the last 40 days, we've burned 0.5%. So we're slowing there. But the key is to get lots of volume. And, nobody's going to complain if the price goes up dramatically that we're not burning enough. But to really get the burn going, we need to get the volume up. You're in with 667 billion Saitama, Joey. That's a good bag. Good bag. Check out Adam Becker video on gaming in the crypto market. I'll have to look at that. Oh, Alex Becker. I'll take a look at it. I'm fascinated by it because of projects like Axie Infinity. I mean, that Axie token has skyrocketed based on their game. So all right. Yeah, a little more L Bank discussion. Interested to see what kind of marketing plan Saitama team has in place. This project can really take off with the right strategic plan. Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on that. And that's one of the things that's exciting to me about the Saitama company is they are able to generate revenues. And then you can take your revenues to pay for advertising. And good night, Bilal. 4 a.m., man. Holy cow, I can't believe you stayed with me that long. I hope that doesn't affect your work day, but I appreciate you being on the stream. So I know that they've definitely shown a lot more in terms of advertising than I've seen in other projects. Just with like the MMA partnership. There's been a few coins that have picked up NASCAR cars. Seems like Saitama may have even had one early on. So yeah, I think they'll do big things with that. I think the main thing to remember is the development team, they're probably major owners in the token. So they are going to want this. I mean, this was a comment that I made in a stream a couple of weeks ago, but I don't think YouTube and their ad revenues will ever compensate me more than just the price of Saitama going through the roof. So the potential for me to earn if Saitama does well is better than than selling merch and doing a Patreon. So we'll see about the merch thing, because I talked earlier in the stream, my 14-year-old daughter wants to be my merch manager, and so maybe we'll let her have her own business. Plus, I would like to have like a Saitama stacker hat, maybe some Saitama stacker shirts and stuff. So, all right, everybody. Well, I appreciate everybody being on. It's kind of a marathon stream for me, but hopefully you guys enjoyed spending some time together. It's good to get to know you all better. And Angry Aussie, we'll see if we can get some merch going. I'm definitely going to need some if I go to Vegas, because I want people to know that it's me. So, and I'll keep following up with Vegas. If I end up buying tickets, we'll make arrangements to maybe have a little get together with some of the stacker community that are there. Hey, appreciate you guys. Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe. Stay away from the COVID. And we'll catch up with you again real soon. Solomon, I just picked up that last one. I'll follow you right away. Okay. Have a good night, everybody.